95% of people who go on a diet fail. 95%. They're successful for 3 months and then they go back to their original state. Because the problem is not the diet, the problem is the mindset, the wrong thinking. The problem is the thinking. The problem is the dream. Because the dream is, in 3 months I can change my life. No, because it takes a lifetime to change a life. Not 3 months. So the problem is in the thinking. Right. So your friend who is posting all this information is posting information, selling a dream to people that 95% of them will fail at. Everything looks positive at the beginning. Look at a marathon race. Take a picture of everyone at the start of the race. And then take a picture of everyone at the end of the race. Right. At the beginning, everything is beautiful, right? It's a postcard, it's a calendar. It's beautiful. But the reality at the end is something that's very different. So big companies understand how to leverage, which means get the most from, how to leverage their social media to improve attention and focus onto their brand or what it is that they do. And it takes time to build this up. And let's say, for example, me, I do minimum 10 to 15 posts on social media a day for my business, right? And that's on Facebook, where I have 5 accounts of Facebook. Where am I going? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Google Business. Are you on Google Business?
Yes.
That's the number one place to be for businesses right now. That's really, really good. So if somebody in Britain puts the words life coaching into the Google search engine, my business appears next to it. My business. Anyone in the country does that. My business is number one there. So that is, and on Google Business, there's a social media feed, right? And I post minimum 2 posts a day on Google Business social media feed. So that anyone who goes on Google sees that I'm active within a 6-hour period on that, in that area. So every little bit helps. The hashtags and the tagging people, it's so vitally important in the Facebook posts and the Instagram posts. The direct messaging on Instagram is the number one way to contact people and sell to them. LinkedIn is a very strange platform in my opinion. LinkedIn is the biggest platform with a lot of nothing that's completely useless to everybody, but people are there. So I think it's a safe space for business people because nobody talks about anything important. But what was one last thing that was in my head? I promise you I'll finish now. Okay. One last thing was you have to celebrate your success. And businesses, and it doesn't matter. What's really important is the micro successes, because the micro successes lead to the big. So when a company gets a delivery of something, that's a micro success. When you visit someone and talk to them, that's a micro success. When somebody agrees to meet you again, that's a micro success. When you install a new system somewhere and somebody's happy with it, that's a micro success. And all the micro successes lead to the bigger macro success. Mm. And it's very easy to celebrate the big success and forget about the small successes that are along the way. And it's very important for business flow and continuity and progress and understanding and communication to get those micro successes into people's minds, because people want to be part of success. People want to spend time with winners, not losers, and so creating this mentality of win, 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 win in people is good. And eventually, when people think about what they're going to do or how they're going to progress or what they're going to buy, what will pop into their head is hopefully your company or your business or your name or your contact or something related to that. And I always think that the business problem is not really a business problem. It's a mindset problem. It's a thinking problem. And the reason why I think this is because maybe there's something which is a big problem for me. It's a massive problem. And maybe for you, it's not a problem at all. Mm-hmm. Which means, what does that mean? That means the problem is all here. So, okay. and then we step into the need to network and communicate with the right people, and work with people who are successful and progressive and can find solutions and can help take steps forward. The number one reason why people fail is that they don't really try hard enough. Why are you not an excellent guitar player? Well, I did a little bit here and there. Right? Right. So, I don't know what everybody needs. I don't know exactly what your business needs. All I can do is listen to what you say and give you a different perspective to think about things.
It was good. I changed my opinion.
Well, I have a new book on business which will be out in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Your book.
Yeah. I have 5 books already.
Okay.
Yeah. And my 4th book, which was my first business book, was published last year, which is Principles for Success. No, it's not success. It's Principles for Leadership. Get it right. It's called I forgot my own book. Principles for Leadership. And for me, business people, independent business people like yourself, are leaders. You lead people. You say to people, I know about this. Come here. Look at this. I'm going to lead you to something that makes your quality of life better, makes your business better, makes people around about you happier. So I think independent business people are leaders. And so the concept of to lead, being a leader, leadership as an activity is one of the keys to business. It also connects to other things like parenting and being a mother and having kids, and you have to be a leader at home as well as in business. And so that's the key for me. So my first business book last year was Principles for Leadership, which is 100 different ways to think differently about problems in business. Everything from marketing strategy to social media strategy, it's kind of a similar thing, to processes, to delivery, to shipments, to personal development. There's 100 ways to think differently about it. And my next book, which is The Laws of Leadership, which will be published in 2 weeks, is it's basically another 100 ways to look at a problem and see that the problem is not actually a problem at all. It's just the way you think about the problem. And don't get me wrong, problems exist. Problems can be complicated. Problems can make life hell sometimes. They cause a lot of stress. That's why I wrote the books, because it's real. It's something real for everybody. But if we have what I call right thinking, then we can solve all the problems. Because I think there's a lot of what I call wrong think. The processes are wrong in people's thinking. They don't have systematic thoughts. People tell themselves, I can't. And it's not true. They tell themselves that I can't, and so nothing happens. It stops. It's the start that stops everybody. It's the start that stops everybody, because we don't start. If we don't start, we don't get anywhere. And final point. This will be the real final point. Okay.
It's okay. It's interesting.
Okay. The real final point is, now you have had, present perfect, you have had your business for 20 years, right? 20 years?
Yes.
You've been in the business. Right?
Yes.
No, 18. You want to say 18 years? Yeah.
Okay.
Almost 20 years, right? Almost 20 years, right? So I think that after 20 years, there's a bit of a plateau. And I would say this happens every 5 years, sometimes maybe it's longer, every 10 years in a business. Sometimes sooner, sometimes every 3 years. The cycles are different, but there's a plateau. After a longer period of time in a business, there's a plateau. And it can be difficult to grow. And the reason why there's a plateau is because you've got to keep growing in here. And it's difficult as adults to keep growing in the mind. Because if the mind doesn't grow, the business is not going to grow. Because it's all about growth mindset. For the world around you to grow, you must grow. And I think that it's very important. That's why education, learning a language is very important in the process.
This is the point why people say every time that young people has to come in company to make the company's growth better.
Balance, yeah. The way that I look at young people is that young people are your future customers. That's the way I look at young people. Young people are your future customers. Do young people need to come into the company to make it grow? I don't know, because you have the knowledge and the experience. You can't just put 18 years into somebody's head. You must experience it. It takes 18 years to learn 18 years of information. You can't do
right.
it.
Yes.
You can. That's the problem with kids, right? It's the kids want to be 18 when they're 13, right?
Yes.
And you can't have all your birthdays in 1 week, right? You can't do it. So you can't put 18 years of experience into into new people who come into your company. So that's a whole different topic. That's the topic of hire and fire. That's the topic of hire and fire.
Yes,
Where it's like, do you need people? Yes, but you need the right people. So you take someone into your company and they have 3 months to prove that they're the right person. If they don't, they're fired and you instantly get somebody else. Maybe not even 3 months, maybe 1 month. You bring someone into your company for 1 month and if they're not everything you want them to be, you fire them and you get somebody else. And you sorry, but sorry, but the world is a real place and we need real people to do real things and to be motivated and to take things forward and opportunity is opportunity. If you help us grow, we will give you more money. Right? This idea of a job for life is ridiculous, right? It's so part of growth is hire but fire.
Okay.
Hire but fire. So you hire people.
Yes.
But if they're not the right people, you fire them and you get somebody else ASAP. You don't wait. You don't wait for them suddenly to become good. Right? And because time is limited. Time is precious. There's only one today. That's it. And one more thing. And one more thing, right? This is how I live my partnership with my partner. Okay, this is what I say. This is quite strong, but this is what I say. I say, if there is something that you can do today, but you don't do it, you do it not today, but you do it tomorrow. That doubles the time. You understand? That doubles the time.
Yes, I understand.
So if what you can do in 24 hours, you don't do it in 24 hours, you do it in 48 hours, right? That doubles the time. Now, what does that mean? That means that it will take you 40 years to do what you could do in 20 years. It will take you 10 years to do what you could do in 5 years. It will take you 2 years to do what you could do in 1 year. And faster leads to faster, slower leads to slower. Things will slow down. And so when you bring in new people to the company, I think it's very important to explain to them that if there's a job that should take 1 hour and it takes you 2 hours, you are responsible for the company losing 50% of its profit. Because we could be 50% more efficient. And everyone has to understand that. Because they don't understand that. And most people don't achieve much in their life because they've got this mañana philosophy, which is it's no problem, we can do it tomorrow because the problem will still be here. But that's crazy because everything that I'm talking about is in my books. So I will send you a copy. Okay.
Okay.
But it's true. It's also true that there's a contradictory balance because people think that the longer period of time you have to do something, the better the quality of work will be. But this is not true. And all studies show this to not be true. All studies, all university studies, all scientific studies show this not to be true. And you want an example? I'll give you an example. Great songs. How many great songs were written just like that, right? hundreds of thousands of great songs, a moment of inspiration, write the song. And then you have some famous band that work for 10 years writing an album, or 5 years, and it's average or just terrible, right? You know, it's like, what was the great example? Like Guns N' Roses' Chinese Democracy. It's like 10 years to write this epic album, and it was absolutely terrible, or just average. It wasn't so bad, but it was average. It was nothing special. So this idea that you can do things better if you have a longer period of time is not strictly true. In general, time does not affect quality, because what you are happy with, you are happy with. What you are satisfied with, you are satisfied with. And you will look for that level of result, whether you have 5 minutes or 5 days. You will look for that level of result that satisfies you. And that's about your level of result. And it doesn't matter about the time. It doesn't matter about the time. It's crazy. Yes, some great pieces of art take longer. It happens. But the most important thing is action. Because the little things, and that's back to the book, the Gary V book, jab, 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 right hook, is jab, 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 bang, and then you knock someone out with the marketing punch at the end. Consistency. Right. Marketing talk. Bang! Finish.
Okay. It was good.
For today, marketing talk. Bang.
Super.
And everyone is an individual. Everyone needs something slightly different. But you know, truth is truth. Veritas is veritas. It's you know, some things are always true for sure.